Okay,
Just
7
in case
o'clock.
I'm outside.
Let's go. Call this meeting to order. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, well, I want to welcome each and every one of you here. Public comment period, matters under the jurisdiction of the MAC and not on the posted agenda may be addressed by the general public at the beginning of the regular agenda and any off-agenda matters before the MAC for consideration. However, California law prohibits the MAC from taking action on any matter which is not on the posted agenda, unless it is determined to be an emergency by the MAC. Any member of the public wishing to address the MAC during the public comment period shall be permitted to be heard once for up to 5 minutes unless the chair of the MAC sets a different time limit. So, and any member of the audience desiring to address the MAC on a matter on the agenda, please raise your hand at the time that the item is announced by the MAC chair. So with that, public comment, anyone, please approach the, and give your name and address for the record, please.
Good evening. I'm glad to see somebody here and not the whole town. Would like to get the whole town. My name is Roy Winters, lifelong member of this town. And so I put some of these flyers out. Did somebody come because they seen it? You did? And I told this man here. Anyway, you've probably seen this.
No, I haven't seen it. Thank you.
It's
Roy.
not professional, but I was trying to get people here.
Yes.
I got a couple.
Yeah,
All right.
Thank you.
It shouldn't be more.
yeah.
People are just too busy and, I don't know, whatever. Okay,
You guys seen it? Yeah.
most of my concerns are the things you guys have already heard, but you're gonna hear them again. And the first thing is, she told me about the county representatives. I wish that they would be here in person to hear our concerns. And hopefully they will get here and she'll put a bug in their ear. Thank you, Erica. And of course, my number one thing is a 24-hour sheriff in this town. And we just discussed that, but I'm going to say it again. We don't need a substation like a building, like they had before. We don't need a place for them to sit there and do whatever. We want a sheriff in town, in a car. He's got a phone. He can be anywhere in this town in a minute. And that's what we need, so that people know he's here, so that they can not do things because they know they'll be caught in a minute. That's what we're after. It's a different town than it was 50 years ago when I grew up. We didn't have all the things going on. Matter of fact, I think we had a shooting just the other night in this town down here. We never had that kind of stuff. And if we had a 24-hour sheriff, people knew it, maybe they wouldn't do that, hopefully. All right, so much for the sheriff. As far as the CHP, thanks for coming in town, but running the stop signs and all the things like that is still going on. The only way you're going to be able to stop that is actual tickets to people that are doing it, and that'll get around to the people in town, and then they'll watch out for running the stop signs and speeding and donuts and all that reckless driving stuff and loud cars all night long and all day long too. That's one of the things that we need CHP for. I know the sheriff doesn't. Years ago, the sheriff did all that too, but it's different now. I understand. And of course, Caltrans, we need to fire the wall over here for the noise. It's hard to sleep. I live, what, 3 blocks away, and it's kind of funny, but it's not, that they didn't do it. Put that wall in here like they do most towns when they put the freeway in. And then we wouldn't have this problem because the ivy would grow on it and that would help too. We got left out, and I wish they hadn't. You know, what happened to the people you're one of them, I was one of them, that was in that cleanup deal here. We need to get the town cleaned up, and one of my main concerns is, of course, the alleys. I know they said that the alleys are turned over to the county. Well, that's not working, because if you look down all these alleys, the utility people can't get through. There's cars and things in there, plus the weeds, and that goes to the fire department. They need to have the weeds down so they won't have fires up and down the alleys. And that, they're getting dried out now, so that's gonna be a concern. Okay, and then, one of the things about the trash is everybody goes into town on the frontage road down here, we all do. And that just gets bad there for a quarter mile. We cleaned it up pretty good, didn't get it all. Somebody cleaned it up again a little bit, but it seems like people just want to throw their stuff out before they get home, or whatever. And so, can we get some people together and do that once a month or two or whatever? That's a concern of mine. And it should be somebody else's concern. For instance, if I got people coming from out of town, out of state, they come through the town, they drive through there, oh God, this town's trashy. And I don't want to hear that. And, you know, it's just one of my concerns I like to bring up.
That's the way it works though. Because I lived on the corner of town there, and I'd see them go by, they'd go to Ceres, hit a drive-through, come back, and they'd throw their stuff out right before they got into town.
Yeah, well, people just need to clean up their own mess. And as far as I'm concerned, I would be on that committee like we did, and clean up down through there so the town looks better. Just, if things are looking better, things will stay better, I think. We don't have Public Works, do we?
No, he's not here today.
All right, well, but I'm gonna mention it anyway, I'm still on the Munis Road, you know what I want. He's been filling the potholes, that's fine, keep doing it till we get that road tore up and put back together. And so when's that gonna happen, you can tell me later. Okay,
What was the name of the road again?
Nunes Road, it's a continuation of Keys Road,
Yeah.
straight, and so from 9th Street over here at the stop sign, all the way out to Keys Road again, it's horrible. I know they're gonna dig it up and put a pipeline in.
Yes.
Okay, well, when,
Yeah.
and all that. In the meantime, Public Works has been helping me by filling in the potholes, but you know, they just pop right back out.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate that, but he's not here to hear that, so, but he's been working on it.
We'll make sure that they get that info.
All right. And the other thing, Keys Road, when you're coming westbound, to get to Nunes Road right there, used to be a right-hand turn lane. But a while back, they realigned it and they made a left turn lane going east to get onto Nunes Road. And so we lost the other one. But there's plenty of room on that curve to get that all back in there. That's Public Works again, so they can work on that. All they gotta do out there is go reline it. But it's a safety issue. Me, when I come from in there, I always get right to the dirt and let people go by, because they're right on it. And I'm surprised they haven't had some good ones there. All right. Okay, I think most of them are not here to hear it, so we'll be good with that. Except my wife says she's not gonna drink the water. It smells like chlorine, Clorox. So I just thought I'd let you know that. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hope we get some more people here next time.
Good concerns.
And Josie.
I'll be here. Had emergency.
Anyone else?
Can I address a couple of his comments now, or do you want me to wait?
Go ahead,
Okay.
do it.
So, confirm something for me. If there is an emergency here and a deputy is not within the vicinity, does Sherlock PD respond?
It depends on the severity of the crime.
Okay.
If it's a very violent crime where all resources are needed, we do listen to each other. We will request, we'll have supervisors request. But if it is not as imminent of a crime that's really dangerous, then it'll be a patrol deputy that responds here. He should be in Turlock. A deputy that's assigned to Keys is also assigned to Turlock. unincorporated area of Turlock. This is his whole area. As soon as you hit Keys, all the way south to Denair as well. He goes to Denair and then all the way towards Crow's Landing on the west side of 99. So he has a big area to staff. We don't have a swing shift for the south of the county with him, so it's a day shift and it is a graveyard shift. There's no middle shift right now currently. Most of our swing shifts are downtown Modesto, Crow's Landing, where our more constant calls for service are happening. But he should be here.
I just wanted to make sure that-
Obviously, if there is a high crime that occurred off of Carpenter and Robertson, he's gonna go help out and use resources over there. We allocate more, we're starting to become short-staffed, like other agencies now. It's starting to hit Stanislaus County Sheriff's Office. Not as bad, but we gotta fill these shifts that we have, and we do move bodies around where we are busy at. But once he's cleared, if he's in the Crow's Landing area, if he's done there, he will come back to his area. But the crime dictates a lot of the places of where we go.
Where things are prioritized. Okay, thank you. I just had to make sure that if there was something of gravity, that obviously you guys would pull within the
Highway
area.
Patrol obviously is probably our most partnered agency when it comes to this area. Ceres will sometimes come and assist us because this road is just right here. They'll be here within a minute. Turlock is very difficult. They're not gonna allocate a lot of resources here to Keys. But Ceres and definitely CHP, if they're in the area, will listen out and they will assist us if we need more law enforcement.
And then the other thing that he had brought up, and I think I had brought this up before, in regards to the alleys. Yes, if there's weed abatement stuff, obviously it is something that goes to the fire department, and a lot of the times they just encourage individuals, especially during fire season, to maintain that area. It is a public right-of-way, so it is something that is monitored by the sheriff's office as well in case there's crime, cars that have been dumped in the alley or whatever the case may be. So one of the things that we did was about alley illegal dumping is one of the big campaigns that we did. So one of the things is if you catch somebody that is illegally dumping, as long as you're safe and you're able to get like the license plate number or whatever, we will share that with the sheriff's office and they'll follow up on it. If you see that our cars that are parked there like for days, it is not meant to be a public parking area. It is something that can be reported to the sheriff's department and they will go on ahead and address it. I would encourage you to use the Stand Connect app because again, it pins it and they'll know how to address that, okay? Because you are absolutely correct. That should be readily available for emergency vehicles, for utility vehicles, companies to have access to it. So yes, if you do see that, do let us know, do report it and we will address that. The other component that he had brought up about, cleaning up the community, April 27th, I think last year, or was it the year before that,
That was the Love Keys.
Yeah,
Cleaned up.
yeah.
That's when he and I were out there.
and I think this year it wasn't something that happened just because she had other things that she was focusing on with her
Right.
personal life, and
Right.
I don't blame her one bit.
Mhm.
But it does obviously take a village to try to work together, and if somebody wants to take lead on it, I've mentioned to you guys before, Stanislaus County is a sponsor for Love Stanislaus, so there shouldn't be much of a cost incurred to be a part of that event and get projects signed up on the website, and people then sign up and you get volunteers and you can put multiple projects on there, but it does take somebody to lead it. So if it's something that you're interested in doing, you're more than welcome to do that. April 27th is the countywide day, but it doesn't mean that you couldn't do it any other day. If it's a street that you want to adopt, again, I know Public Works has spoken to that in the past, that they can provide, the utensils and or the tools and everything that you might need. And then, they can go on ahead and support in that area. So opportunities are there. I didn't want you to think that it wasn't, and I am like you, I like to take pride in the area that I live in. So if it's something that, you want to spearhead or whatever the case may be, I'm sure that we would be able to try to get some of those resources out.
I would like to do that. My problem of like going down the road there, picking that stuff up is what
Yeah.
kills me.
But we have
For
those
an hour, I
little-
can't do it.
We have those thingamajiggies.
Well,
What do you call them? The little claws?
There's
Grabbers.
I like the thingamajiggies,
You ever
catches.
tried that? Well, what I get is, there's a couple of people here, but the deal is, we need people from the town to get here, and that's what I'm trying to
Exactly,
get.
yeah.
So I can get a group,
Yep.
2, 3, 4, or 5, or however
Yep.
many, once, a couple months, and let's just go around and do it.
Yep.
And keep it up.
Davey used to do it when he was here, and I mean, you see one of the signs that literally says adopted by Keys Mac, because he used to spearhead that when he was here. He was a Mac member, and it was something that he took pride in, right?
Right.
So now you need to challenge Ernie.
I'll say one more thing about that.
We're out there with you.
The love thing on Keys, that's a good, people getter, I guess.
Right, it's a one-time event to get things started, yes.
Yeah, but, as far as I'm concerned, that was a joke,
Okay,
okay? Because, all the people that worked on it, that I was with, they just wanted to get it done and get over to the park and have the big party. They don't need a party. We don't need to feed you to clean up the town. Just come over and let's get it done. and
but
can
you
go home
gotta
by then.
remember that it's not just about cleaning, it is about building that camaraderie with your neighbors to be able to be
Where
on
they
the
at?
lookout.
That's what I'm
Well,
saying. They should
I
be here.
understand that, but I'm just saying that's part of the event, that's
Yeah.
part of what the intent is of it.
That's what I'm saying. It was a joke, because where they at, they didn't come.
Well, you gave out your flyers, right? You tried.
I did what I had.
Yeah, yeah,
No, I
okay.
will again.
I have a question for vehicles parking.
Mhm.
If the vehicles park in a private parking, they don't address, right?
If it's your private parking, like if it's a
only
car
on
that
public
is,
road, right?
well, I think there is a reason that if you park for a long period of time on a public
No,
road.
someone else parked in our, let's say apartments or anything.
Oh,
Someone else in private park, private lot.
That
And if we
somebody
call
goes
them,
into- yes.
right, but they don't address that, right?
Well, if they're parked on a private area and a private parking that doesn't belong to them, it's trespassing. Is that what you're saying?
Well, but vehicles are parked empty, and stolen vehicles or anything, and we don't know, and we call, let's say,
You could call, I would encourage you to call, report it through Stan Connect. You could just say the vehicle has been there for quite a long time.
right,
Submit the license plate number, they could go on ahead and do a check on it.
Scan Connect.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's an app, and the one is called Stan Connect.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Is there anything else you'd like to say?
No, this is what I would
Okay.
probably, thank you.
Nick, something right there?
Sure.
Anything else from anybody? No? Well, the only thing I gotta say about the sheriff, I see him around town on a frequent basis. And just about 45 minutes ago, about 6 o'clock, I went to get some food a block away over there. And on my way back, I saw a sheriff's black pickup come out of here and go across and head out that way. And after it headed out that way, as I was walking along, here comes a Mustang from way down there from the supermarket. Oh, and screeching tires and blew every stop sign and was gone. And I was going like, darn it, that guy was just
I
missed
picked the
it.
wrong one, huh? I
Yes,
was going after someone else.
yes, and man, I wish you would have gotten him.
That happens a lot.
Yes, it does. So just
Just,
because
2
they're
seconds.
around here doesn't mean that, you know.
Picked the wrong one.
So anyway,
I'd like to say another thing about that too, on the CHP. I'm sorry. Was you down by my house there a couple times, where my stop sign is, Lizzie and 9th Street?
I
One
believe.
one of the places where they run it all the time,
Mhm.
and both ways actually. And so, at least once I was out there and he parked by my driveway, which is like from here to the road now. And when they come up there, they're gonna see you and stop. And he says the idea is to get them to stop, right? Yeah, but they're gonna stop when they see you. Park back here closer to the alley and they ain't gonna see you. Then they run it, then you can go tell them, and then maybe give them a ticket, because that ticket is gonna get around town and they're gonna start watching it and then stop it. That's what I'm trying to get. Understand? Okay, so.
Well, if you're backed up one of them alleys, you'd be busting them left and right.
And you
Yeah.
know what, if you don't mind if I can address, there's young kids riding on their little motorcycles.
Like, yeah, that,
No helmets,
Right.
zooming, they go up my driveway and I'm like, wow. And I'm just afraid someone's gonna come and hit them. And the parents, I don't know if the parents know, but there's a lot in the evening,
yeah, it just started lately, yes.
but it's dangerous. I mean, I come out of my driveway and I look, but sometimes they go, I'm afraid I might run one over. Yeah.
okay, anybody else before we move on? Okay, next thing on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of January 18th, 2024.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from January 18th.
And I second.
And first and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. All right. Monthly reports, Stanislaus County Sheriff's Office.
Good evening, everybody. Appreciate you guys letting me be here. I've been here once before, it was probably over a year ago. I'm not currently assigned to this area, but the other deputy is not here. I'm Deputy Navarro with the Community Resource Unit. I'm a part of a team of 5 where we go to these meetings and interact with the community and also resolve any issues that's not needing immediate attention. We are very active in the Stand Connect app, as Erica brought up. That is a very useful tool for us that we constantly on a daily basis is looking at. If you're not putting anything on there, we're not gonna know. So I really encourage you guys to use it. It's very, we're looking at it, and whoever is, I don't know exactly who's in charge of it, but they know how to direct it to the right personnel and the staffing, whether it's cleanup or whether it's a vehicle that is suspicious in the area, the neighborhood, or anything like that. Obviously, if you have an emergency, call 911, but if it's something that is not pressing at that moment, go ahead and use that app. We will respond within 24, 48 hours, depending on what we got going on the next day. We help out with search warrants and stuff like that constantly.
You said an app?
Stand Connect. STAN CONNECT.
You say that's an app?
It's an app on the phone.
An
You can be anonymous. All you have to do is put the issue, take a photo, intersection or an address. Let us know your concerns, and it will be get redirected to the right
You
personnel.
have to have a phone with an internet or something like that?
Yes.
Works on a
Or-
Is
computer.
it just app solely, or can you go on the internet on the computer?
Internet too.
You could do it on the internet as well, but yes, it does require internet, on your phone.
How about the phone number?
Oh, well, you could call the sheriff's office, the non-emergency number, but what he's saying is this way allows them to document what the issue is.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
You don't need to put
Not-
your information,
Not
your phone number.
emergency.
Do you have the non-emergency number for him?
I don't have it on, I'll look it
All
up
right,
right now.
that's what we're talking about.
We'll get that to you. To talk about a few things I know that was brought up. Alleyway, my team, I know my team personally has been here the past few weeks in Keys. Keys is one of my favorite areas to come out to, so I'm always helping my partner out. We served a few search warrants in the past few weeks in Keys. Got some ex-gang members off the streets with some guns, which was very good to have. I know the racers and their sideshow vehicles is a problem. It is a problem anywhere in Stanislaus County. It's actually a problem in California. I know this is one of my favorite little intersections, just park right here. You see a black truck, it's usually me. I'll come take a break or eat my lunch and I'll see it. A few weeks ago, I told a truck that was doing donuts right here. I don't know how he didn't see me, but he put on a good show for me, and then I took his vehicle from him. So it is what it is. It was unnecessary, and I could tell the vandalism that it's happening to these roadways and the damages that they're happening. So he won't see his car for 30 days. I know we come out here. I know this myth about us not writing tickets. We actually do write tickets. The sheriff's office. We actually have this cool little electronic system now, so it's just print out, scan an ID, and we're good to go. Makes it really convenient. So we will cite. We do cite plenty of times for people trespassing or any issue or concerns. We just towed a couple RVs this past week in the alleyways right behind this business and another alleyway just down the road. Some people had some warrants. We took them to jail too. But again, the Stand Connect alleyways is very useful. That's a useful tool to use because that's how we responded to some things, and we ended up finding people doing bad stuff. We told their vehicles that they're blocking the alleyway. Nobody should be blocking the alleyway at all. When it comes, I know you had a question about the private property and towing. We're not going to go on someone's property. If it's your property, that you own it. Like if you don't want it there, you could get it. You could have a tow. Remove that vehicle. We are not going to tow a vehicle on someone else's private property. I mean, if it's stolen and stuff, we could take the necessary steps, but we're not going to go, especially if it's not your property. But we could look into it and find other ways to try to resolve the matter, but, we will not, cut corners on people's private property, it's their property. Usually it's about, is it 72 hours a stationary vehicle on the side of the road needs to move?
That applies.
So if people are just leaving their cars there and it hasn't moved in a while and it's a bothersome, or you're blocking, now people having a hard time trying to cross the four-way stop because they can't see, call it in. We will, what we call, tag it, and we will give them a 72-hour notice to move this vehicle. Everybody will be aware that the 72-hour notice tag has been on that vehicle. And if it's still there, whether it's the registration's current and there's no other issues, it still needs to move. We will tow it at that point. But usually once you start seeing yellow stickers all over the place, they start moving their vehicle. They don't want to incur that cost to get it out that tow yard.
That'll keep you busy.
That's fine. Busy is good. Busy is good. Stanislaus does keep us busy. It's not just here. A lot of the concerns that we have here are
Same thing.
3-4 times just as bad as another area, but we will do our best. Obviously, we can't be everywhere in one spot. It takes a community for you to communicate, make phone calls, and let us know what's happening, especially if it's serious and it needs to be addressed at that time. It's kind of difficult when we bring up a serious matter in the MAC meeting, when we could have addressed it 2 weeks ago by communicating over a phone or calling 911, and us doing our investigations and doing more follow-up on a house that's maybe you think has, illegal drugs going on right there or something like that. I did ask, I don't know of a shooting, I'm not too familiar with a shooting that happened here.
On the west side over here.
Was it on the west side?
Little market, little
In
Mexican
Keys?
market. No, on the other side of the highway.
Okay, I'm not familiar with that. Yeah, I try to look up as quickly as possible to see. I was more concerned for Keys, because he brought up Keys, so, yeah.
Well, it's probably within the Keys Fire District, huh? Is that Wesley? What is this little town over here?
Wesley?
What's this little town that's right over here?
Wesley,
On the other side of the highway?
Well, there's no town on the other side of the highway.
what's down there more? It's Wesley.
Well, that's way out of,
Yeah.
That's Grayson, then Wesley.
That's,
Oh,
that's
okay.
my,
Wesley.
I'm
That's-
sure
that's
there's gotta
20,
be a
25 minutes.
town.
Yeah, right, that's a different area.
They got a store.
Well, yeah,
Oh, you're talking the one out there on Carpenter, is it Carpenter and whatever, it's like
Couple
way out
miles.
there.
Roseandy.
This
Yeah,
two
right.
miles on the
Way out
other
there.
side of the road,
Yeah.
highway here.
Yeah,
Out
that's,
here in the country.
well, that would be close landing in Grayson.
No, not
Yeah.
that far.
Oh, there's no other store out.
Just 2 or 3 streets right out here past Faith Home.
Okay, so, obviously we have a very big weekend coming up in a few weeks.
They got
Cinco de Mayo weekend.
fire
We
department
will
out
be,
there.
we're already preparing for the busyness that we're gonna have when it comes to that weekend. My team currently is gonna be out on a Saturday and hopefully on a Sunday, and just being proactive and showing our presence, because we know that that weekend is a very busy weekend when crimes are being committed and people are driving recklessly and a lot of DUIs. I know CHP is probably gonna be busy with a lot of
what
DUIs.
about 420?
No, that they're more, I don't even know how to do a test on 420. I'm not certified for that.
We
I can do
got,
alcohol, but I'm not an expert at marijuana.
is there a party coming up?
So I know personally, Keys is one of our go-tos, so you will see a lot of black trucks on Keys on the weekend of Cinco de Mayo, trying to at least show our presence and prevent stuff from happening. It's still gonna happen, and we will get pulled for resources somewhere else, or if it happens here, we will make sure we quickly respond before it gets too out of hand. Other than that, do we have any questions for the sheriff's office?
Well, it might be more for fire department. Now,
Okay.
these guys that go around here and steal this wire, and then they burn that plastic off. It's kind of the smell like trash or something burning, just a nasty odor. We got some guys that are doing that. Now, I mentioned it one time to the fire guys, but they were just getting started down there, so I think he was too busy to mess with it, because nothing ever got done about it.
I'll talk to you about that because I'm investigating something.
There you go, connection made.
You know know, I saw something the other night, you know, he's talking about all these noises over here at the you lay there at night and you hear all these weird noises, but it sounds like cars racing down the highway. You know? So I was coming home from Turlock the other night, I think it was Sunday night, and I got right there past the Ford place, and there's a Dodge Charger taking over the fast lane, and 2 Ford Mustangs right next to him taking over the other lane. The Vicky's truck, he backed up, slowed down, the whole traffic was slowed down behind him. About the time they got to the Chevron, they floored it, took off. Well, that Dodge Charger just disappeared. The Mustangs let off. But I guess they must time each other to do that racing thing, you know.
Well, they do that from here.
That's what it sounds
Well,
like.
they're listening. Obviously, our scanners are public, so they're listening to where we're at. They're listening to stuff like that. They have watchers. They have people. They have their new people sitting at the only intersection you can enter on, and they'll let them know, hey, law enforcement are coming. But they're a little smart. They're not too smart. We got a helicopter, so we could beat them. Well, there's just so many of them. There's just so many of them.
That, they took over the highway, you know, it's probably been a year or two ago,
Yeah.
down here at Faith Home.
Yeah. We haven't had one of those.
Well, we were watching. Me and Mom, we opened the curtain windows and we could see them right there on the highway. And they were out there doing donuts and stuff. Well, then we could hear the sirens coming from Ceres. But traffic was all balled up. The cops couldn't get to them. So they all disappeared and ran off by the time the cops even got there.
One thing I would say is that California is actually very proactive when it comes to these sideshows and stuff like that. We've had some laws recently implemented to help give us more teeth. I know Modesto has implemented municipal codes for these street racers. We're seizing their vehicles until they go to court. I don't know if you follow San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office, where they took a whole bus and arrested 80 people and like 40 vehicles and seized them, and they will not get them until their decision in the court is determined if it's going to be totaled or not.
The funny thing was that night we saw this Camaro pulled up out front of the house. There's that stop sign there. Raises up, he had the glass, hatchback. And he changed his shoes, looked like he changed his shirt. He put another license plate on that car, looked like he changed his shoes. And he got back in the car and he took off.
Yeah.
He was one of them guys that was out there doing that.
Okay, well.
I'm gonna leave a few
Yes.
business cards here, preferably email, if you need to communicate with me and something within the community that's not pressing and the Stan Connect's not working for you, shoot me an email on my work email, and I will make sure that I address it or I pass it on to my teammate that will address it. Thank you guys for your
One last
time.
question.
Yes.
Do you guys do drones? Because
We
sometimes I see drones.
We actually believe, just recently, as of 2 weeks ago, have a full-time drone team now.
Okay,
Like
because,
we have 2 drone operators, they're deputies, they have vehicles, they can do the same thing as us, it's just they have a fully capable Tahoe that has everything they need with their drones, with the screen TV in the back of their Tahoe. So we have 2 for day shift, 2 for swings, and 2 for graves. So we can't always get the helicopter up real fast, so we have drones throughout the county, Riverbank, Patterson. So it's such a great tool to have.
Yeah.
It's extra eyes in the sky that could go up within minutes. They're really fast. They park, open it up, throw the drone up in the air, and now we have eyes in backyards and places that we don't need to go immediately and put ourselves in a bad situation. We can slow it down a little bit and get a better view. But yes, the Stanislaus County Sheriff's now has a full-time drone team, which is a great thing, and you'll be seeing them quite often.
I will see them.
Good. Thank you very much.
I thought it was a neighbor, and I go, no, it can't be a neighbor.
Thank you guys for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
California Highway Patrol.
Yeah.
Good evening, Officer Arias with the California Highway Patrol. So I'll go over some stats and then we'll get into questions if you have any more left. Since the last meeting, we've had a total of 16 accidents within the boundaries of Keys here. 1 was a major injury accident, 3 were moderate injuries, 4 were hit and runs with property damage only, and then 8 were property damage crashes only. We had 3 arrests, mainly for DUI within Keys here. We had 11 calls for reckless driving, sideshows, whatever you want to call them, within the boundaries. We took 3 stolen vehicle reports. So obviously, if people are stealing your guys' vehicles around here, make sure to lock them up. And we recovered 1 of those within the limits as well. Those are the stats for the area since the last meeting. So if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. No? So I'll touch on a little bit about what the deputy was saying. The alleyways cannot be blocked, right? If you have access to your home from the alley, you're allowed to stay there while you're either loading or unloading, that's it. If a car is parked there, if it's for whatever reason, you call 911 from a cell phone, it directs to us, we will respond and we will take the car. If you call from a landline, it will go to the sheriff's department first, then they will route it to us. Okay? If you have personal traffic complaints, like you were mentioning earlier, I can give you a phone number for my office. You can give us a call, let us know where it's at, and it'll generate a traffic complaint for you. It's 209-545-7440. Officer Gonzalez, who's our front desk officer, will put that together.
7440.
40. Yes, sir.
I got it, thank you.
Officer Gonzalez will put that together, and that'll go out to our SCU team, which is our enforcement team. I will actually get together with one of the officers that is on that unit who loves to write tickets. So hopefully I can get him out here for you guys. When I say, it's not an exaggeration when I say he loves to write tickets, so he will come out here if I ask him to, but he's very black and white.
He's bought a few new Harleys for CHP.
I wish that was the case. We get no revenue from tickets, believe it or not. It all goes to the counties where we work, so that does not funnel to us at all. I'll speak with Officer Hudson in regards to that situation, see if I can't get him out here. He drives a big Tahoe, so you'll notice him in and out. He's been helping me out in other cities, or unincorporated cities. As far as the donuts and stuff like that, if you call, obviously, like anybody else, we're short-staffed, right? We try to keep an officer on the southeast side for the most part throughout the day, all 3 shifts. The only thing that I can say in regards to that is they're out here, but like the sheriff's department, they handle from 99 all the way to the county line eastbound. So it does take them a little bit of time to get out here. If you have cameras that point into the streets, if you happen to get license plates, that kind of stuff helps us because we can send out letters, we can go visit the homes.
Film them first and then call you, if you can.
We've actually, if we can get cars with actual plates on videos, there's other avenues for us to try to chase to get these vehicles, right? We won't be able to arrest anybody because we have to actually see the action take place. And it's hard, obviously, to film somebody in the car and be able to ID them. However, if the plate matches the car, it's a lot easier for us to be able to impound a vehicle for 30 days. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. Okay, thank you, Officer Reyes. Okay, next is the fire district, and I found out why they aren't present. They have their board meetings at the same time that we have our MEC meetings, and that's why they aren't able to, they haven't been here for the longest time. And then you say Stanislaus County Public Works is in here, we have Keys Library up there.
Hello everyone, my name is Alberto. I am the Keys Library branch supervisor. Just wanted to touch up on some things that are going on within the Keys Library. So this week and next week we have the Dia de los Niños, which is a children's book day. It started April 15th.
Officer Reyes, I'm sorry, can we have him taken over just because
Sorry.
we can hear, sorry.
Take care of it. So this week and then the following week we have Children's Book Day. So children can come in, they get a free book, a bag, and then a craft to take home. It's just us celebrating children, reading, and of course the multicultural community that we have. We will be starting story times here in May. It'll be every week, Thursdays at 11 a.m. to try to, again, promote reading at a very young age. I know in our current location, it's a very small room, but we are planning to just use the bigger community space since PAL opens later, and then that won't cause any issues with them. And then the last Thursday, which is May 30th, it will be a bilingual story time to again promote multicultural. Looking ahead, we are planning to have the Modesto Children's Museum. Some of their staff will be coming on July 24th at 1 p.m. They're going to be doing some programming here at the Keys Library. This is a way they like to kind of break that paywall since it does cost to get into the Modesto Children's Museum. This helps just break the paywall within the community. They do some programming, and actually the day of the solar eclipse, we did have them at the library. They did a craft with the kids, and we had about 40 people attend. So they just had a blast, but that's July 24th at 1 p.m. And then we are planning to plan them for August as well for a program. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about, so the library is doing a strategic plan with the help of Barry Dunn, a consulting firm. They're conducting interviews within the community. So I know here in Keys, they talked to the elementary principal already. They're trying to just touch bases with different community members to kind of get an understanding of what the community is, what services they need, and how the library can help. And so our goal is to get feedback from community members and of course our community here in Keys to see how we can better serve all those communities within Stanislaus County. And your guys' feedback, of course, is very helpful. It helps us to know where we are doing good and of course in what areas we need to improve. We take all of that feedback with the help of this consulting company and help us create a plan of how our services can focus on that. And so I did leave some business cards on the table. It has a QR code where it takes you to our website, gives you all the information on what we're planning to do, and also there's a feedback there that you can give your opinion. You can say, hey, I think the library needs to help more of the Hispanic community, or the library needs to do this, and we take all of that seriously to try to be able to, of course, provide the community that we serve. But any questions for the library?
So are you guys at the PAL building then?
Yes, we're
In
at
the
the
back?
community center, yes.
The little room back there?
Yeah, it used to be their computer room.
Room, yeah.
Now it's our room.
Did they ever get that place straightened out with the bathrooms and stuff? I remember a few years back, they were complaining that leaks in the bathrooms and the bathrooms were terrible.
So far there hasn't been any leaks. They have issues with the light bulbs, but they have someone from the county GSA who takes care of that building. They come and just replace those.
They still have the kitchen and stuff in there?
They still have the kitchen, but it's not being used as an industrial kitchen, of course. But it's used for our lunch breaks or just used to store different things.
Alberto, do you get a lot of kids going there after school?
Not as we used to before, but then it's usually just our regular customers or parents that kind of come with their kids.
Because of COVID thing or what?
No, it's just when we used to be right next to the elementary school,
Yeah.
it was just kids could come and just hang out until parents picked them up. Now we're about a block or two away, so it's a little harder. And then we used to just conduct story times for the kindergarten classes and have just class visits. It's a little harder when you have to take them outside of the school,
Yeah.
get permission to walk them over there, or put them in a bus and just, again, drive them 2 blocks. But we do get some of the PAL kids come in,
Still go
get some
there?
books and then some crafts, yeah.
So you do work with the Key School though? Like if they get too full with kids that they can go over there to the PAL? Or they gotta get the parents' permission? You know, like
Right now,
walking?
the communication's kind of separate. I do reach to mainly the teachers.
Okay,
That's who I mainly have connections with. And like for example, for the solar eclipse, I reached out to one of the 5th grade elementary teachers, and they had to go to the proper chains, ask permission to walk the class over, and they were able to. And then we do story time for the Head Starts, so we drive over there and do that for them.
oh, okay, that's good.
All right, thank you.
Hey, thank you, Alberto.
You can take my flower down for me, and I'll bring it down for next time, sir. Thank you.
Stanislaus County PAL. No. Board of Supervisor, Condit, District 5, no. Assemblyman Juan Alanis, no. Stanislaus County Chief Executive.
I'm always here
Office.
So first things first, let me apologize. Supervisor Chance Condit was not able to make it. There was a conflict on his schedule. Assembly member Juan Alanis, I saw him right before the meeting and it didn't end up on his calendar. So we're gonna try to make sure that our distribution list is correct and making sure that everybody's getting it on their calendar. As far as the report out from the Chief Executive Office, this is Jennifer. She is the new Erica. And I want you guys to be really nice to her. Let her build the endurance and then you can be mean to her, Ernie, okay? So give her a little bit of time.
I'll try
But-
to refrain.
So it was a pleasure to work with you guys. I promise to come and visit every now and then.
You better.
But Jennifer will start taking over and feel free to reach out to her the same way that you reached out to me. My phone number and my email address has not changed, so continue to reach out to me if you feel comfortable doing that as well. We're both gonna be accessible to you, but she is the new community relations manager. She started 3 weeks ago,
Third week.
3rd week, and she's still showing up, so
Hey,
I'm just saying.
good sign.
I'm just saying. And she actually endured the first late Board of Supervisors meeting that went on until 11 o'clock at night on Tuesday. So we're breaking her in gently. On that note, I'm gonna go ahead and step aside. She does introduce herself and then she has a couple of items to share with you guys.
Awesome.
So you'll make sure the supervisors comment and then know what our next meeting is, right?
Absolutely.
July 18th.
And I also share out with the representatives or with the supervisors about the concerns that were brought up during the meeting in case they were not here. That way they are aware. And if there's something that they need to look into, then they will do that as well, and we will follow up. I did put business cards out. Please bear with me. I am from the community and I know a lot of the community, but it will take me a little bit to build up the institutional knowledge that Erica has, and she has a lot. So I will do my best. If there's obviously a question that I don't know the answer to, I will absolutely get back to you. So please, I will write stuff down. I've been taking notes and I'll get there, I promise. But I'm here and I will continue to be here. We do have an event coming up on April 25th at the State of the County address. Supervisor Manny Graywall would really love to invite you all, and I did send it out to all of the Max. I hope you guys received that invitation. But I'll make sure, and there's also, so yes, I hope you got the invitation. So I will be at the Modesto Library. He will be doing it out there, closing off the street, and so he will address the community. Prior to that, from 1 to 5, there is a resource fair for county resources. So the county departments will be there, and so that community can go and see what resources are available to them and how to access them. So it's just for the county, there's no other, so please come out and see what's available to you, because there is a lot.
I will be there. I respond.
And they have
April 25th, so next Thursday.
and on the same day, they have farmers market, so you can get food, get resources, and stay for the state of the county address.
Just
So
hang
all
out
in
the
one day.
entire day.
Hang out the entire day, go prepared.
And it's shaded because it'll be around the library
See
where
if I can send
the,
that one.
Portico.
yeah, the portico, that's the word. So it's there, and the state of the county will be right there.
Just plan to come early because that parking is crazy during farmers
It
markets.
is, it is.
Or
And
take the bus.
Or
you plug in, Steve, plug in.
Good.
So any questions?
Yeah.
Well, we welcome you.
Thank you so much. I'm really happy to be here.
You bet. Okay, speaking of buses, Stanislaus Regional Transit.
That's a nice lead-in. I don't have a whole lot to report. In our board meeting last month, we are beginning to transition to zero-emission vehicles. We have purchased
3 hydrogen fuel cell buses to be a test, part of a test fleet. And we're going to evaluate that versus the battery electrics to see which direction we want to go in. So it's going to take us a while to get the buses. It's not like you just walk down to the dealer lot and pick one up. So it's going to, they probably won't be in until next year. So look for them out there. We made a few tweaks to our schedule, but the 2019 schedule did not change. So that's still working. Veterans ride free. Daily rate is $2. If you're a senior citizen or disabled, you ride for $1. And students ride free. It's a great value, and they will get you to the state of the county address. I'm not certain I'm going to make it, but if I do, I will be taking the bus. That's all I got to report.
All right, very good. Okay, thank you, Stephen. Stanislaus Behavioral Health and Recovery Services.
Good evening, folks. I am from Stanislaus County Behavioral Health and Recovery Services, and I am part of the Stanislaus Mobile Crisis Response Team. We're a community-based program that works in the community to respond to crisis calls that may involve psychiatric crisis or substance use crisis. We have a team of clinicians that can go out and do assessments out in the field wherever a crisis may be occurring, and they can evaluate for 5150 criteria, so for danger self, danger to others, or gravely disabled that is connected to mental health or substance use. We are a 24/7 based community program, so we are available 24/7. And the way you can access us is either through 911 referrals, so you can call law enforcement. We do partner up with law enforcement, and they can dispatch us to locations, or you can also call the 1-888-376-6246 number. Option 4 is for the crisis team. That is a resource and support line, 24/7. You can call. Option 3 is for appointments for mental health appointments, to get a evaluation, to get connected to mental health services, or SUD services, and then option 4 is to speak to somebody on the crisis team. If you do have either somebody or yourself, or you may be seeing somebody experiencing a crisis, you can always just give us a call. You can consult with us, kind of let us know what's going on, and then we can kind of take it from there. Like I said, we are a community-based program, so wherever the crisis is happening, we will respond to anywhere in Stanislaus County. We respond to adults, children's, anywhere where the crisis is happening, so schools, homes, on the street, anywhere where the crisis is happening. We are a mobile team, so we will respond to that particular location. We do work closely with law enforcement, so with the police departments in the different areas in Stanislaus County, and then with the sheriff department, also with CHP. So any calls that they may get that may have a mental health or substance use crisis component, they are able to dispatch us to those locations. That way we can help support. As far as calls, our team does consist of 1 program manager, 7 clinicians, 4 behavioral health specialists that do assist folks with resources. We educate on the process on how to connect to services. We also attempt to, after the end of an encounter, we do attempt to leave the encounter with at least having them set up with an appointment. Again, mental health services are voluntary, but we do try to educate them on the benefits of connecting to services. And we also provide follow-up to see if they were able to follow up and connect to services. We also have a peer support specialist that assists us on our team, and then numerous Stanislaus County employees that are employed with us to be able to provide the 24/7 support. For the month of March, we did receive 150 total referrals. Only 29 of those actually resulted in psychiatric hospitalizations, which is about 19%, and 1 law enforcement arrest that resulted from one of those calls. A total of those 101 were actually from the community, so they were community generated calls, which has increased from February, which is a lot lower. So we did get, February we had 101 referrals, March we had 150. So like I said, 101 of those referrals were community based. 49 of those referrals were from law enforcement or dispatch centers, and that's actually decreased from 79 total calls in February. So from 79 in February down to 49 from law enforcement, which allows them to free up to respond to more criminal activity and stuff that they can take care of while we're working with mental health and substance use. Any questions? There are pamphlets and flyers on the table, and then cards with that phone number on the table as well, right next to that. Thank you,
What
guys.
was your name again?
Horacio Madleña, Horacio.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, then the last one, Keys Community Services District, last but not least. We had a workshop, our annual workshop, March 2nd, excuse me, March 2nd and what we had on the agenda, we reviewed the workshop from before, the year before that. We went through all our projects that are ongoing. There was a presentation of the 123 TCP project that is going to be taking place very soon. We will be opening bids April 30th. Then we'll have a special meeting on May 7th so that we can award the bid and they can put in all the new Calgon filters on that empty lot over by the PAL building. We also had our director go through our sewer collection system, explain it all, where our lift stations are, how we pump all the wastewater to the Turlock. He also did a water distribution system as far as our arsenic treatment plant and our wells and all the improvements that we've done there. We had maintenance worker job responsibilities, and we showed them what they did out in the field, like sewer line cleaning, valve exercising, etc. And we also talked about district goals and objectives. And of course, the big one for us is reconstructing this building. Now, we are waiting on the Stanislaus County to abandon that half street north of us. That'll give us an additional 4,000 square feet. So there will be ample room for our offices, administration, maintenance. And there will also be room for a sheriff's substation. So I wrote a letter to Sheriff Dirksey, and I let him know that we're going to be redoing this building and that we are going to dedicate a section of the new building for their exclusive use, and so that hey, they can have a station here if they need, like, for example, on a winter, cold, rainy night, and they need to speak with the residents here, they'll have a nice place to come and do that.
So sheriff/highway patrol station.
Well, I'm sure that if the sheriff's substation is here, the highway patrol will be coming by there to...
Ernie, can we get a copy of that letter if you don't mind?
Oh, sure, no problem. As a matter of fact, you want me to email it to you?
Sure, that'd be great.
Yeah, and to Jennifer, yeah. Anyway, I gave Stephen a copy of this, and so, but to me, I was thinking if I know Juan Alanis knows the sheriff really well, so I was thinking giving Juan a call and saying, hey, put in a good word for us. When we do go out for an architectural design firm, when they do design the building, we want it designed with that in mind, and we're asking for their input as far as the amenities go and whatever else that they would like to have there. And of course, the board of directors is completely behind it, and we're telling them that we're not looking for any monetary participation, whether it's design or construction costs, because we got tons of money. So
And we
everything is,
abandoned the street for your benefit too, Ernie.
yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
So anyway, we're really looking forward to all these things that are happening here. Watch, if you have time, we videotape that workshop. It's on our website. So you can, we talk about anything and everything pertaining here to the community. Mr. Wetters was here, he enjoyed it. He knows that we talked about even with the new building, putting in the training class center, so that, here's what I told the board. When I was a public works director in Newman, the 8th grade science class would have me every year go down there and explain to them about our sewer system and our water system, how it all works. And so then they would come over and tour our facilities. And so I mentioned that, and they said, hey, I'm gonna talk to Jeff Reed to see if that way we can have those kids come over, because they don't teach any of this in school. All the guys that I have, 2 of them came from the mill across the highway, and another one sold the parts. The other one was a forklift operator, and the other one was a roofer. And they're going like, wow, we didn't know all this infrastructure existed. And so I talk about when we go over to Wellsite 6, that's what's going to be our new temporary office while this is all being constructed. And then when we get done with that, we're going to put in ice machines so that people can go down there, because our water is just ready to be frozen and it's beautiful. And once we pay off our installation costs, whatever profit we make, the revenue that comes from that, we're going to use it for scholarships for the kids here in Keys who want to go into the water and wastewater business. So I'm really excited about all these good things that are going to be happening here. So that's all I got to report. Yes?
How soon do you anticipate, like, moving to the other temporary location?
Well, I'm thinking I budgeted $300,000 in the preliminary budget for this coming fiscal year. So as soon as I get word that the Board of Supervisors has approved the abandonment, then that's when we're gonna do RFPs, RFQs, qualifications and proposals from design firms. And once we get that, I know that it's gonna take a year or so before they get that done.
Okay.
So right away, all we have to do is go over there, bring in the water and sewer services, pour a concrete slab, get one of these big metal buildings, and then rent some of these mobile offices and slide them in there, work out of there. Once we're done, we pull those out, and now we use that for storage and for the ice machine and water dispensing.
Okay, I'm just trying to anticipate, like, you know, this is where we hold the meetings, just trying to figure out where we would have to move them to temporarily. So just trying to plan ahead.
Oh, yeah, no, it's still a ways away, so.
It's not like next year.
No.
It's like, we got time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I've got well, I just have a quick question. As far as that, the abandonment of the road, does that have to go through the County Planning Commission?
I don't believe so, no, because there's no improvements that is happening. This is just the Board of Supervisors approving for Public Works directly to abandon.
All right.
It's already in the works. Chad Johnson, the surveyor for Stanislaus County, I've been working with him since last November regarding this. And he is the one who has been making all the reports and assisting us in a big, big way. But he did say that before that could move forward, it had to go through about 10 people, because they gotta research everything and make sure that there are no mistakes once they abandon that and it becomes our property.
So this south end of the building here,
Yes?
you're not gonna go that way?
The fire department is going to be using.
They're gonna use that?
Yeah, as a matter of fact.
That's their little apron?
Yeah, they also want to put in their new, and this is on the video, this is the new fire department that they want to put in. It's going to estimated to cost them $7 million in money, which they don't have. So, but they didn't want to give the property. As a matter of fact, Raj Singh, the fire chief, was the one who put that idea in my head, said, hey, I'm gonna need that lot, but you know what? Why don't you ask to abandon that, now you can go that way. So,
Good idea.
yeah, that was Raj Singh's idea. Okay? Yes, you had a question.
Yeah, the last thing on the Dunes Road, what's the latest on it as far as getting that line in there?
Oh, as I mentioned at the workshop, we are going to hold off on that until, because Dave Romano is trying to extend our boundary all the way down to, what's the name of that street? Barnhart? Barnhart. And because they're going to be, we need to extend the sewer line all the way down there.
That's our
So-
fire district, huh?
Right, so instead of tearing up the road and inconveniencing motorists and pedestrians twice, we decided to push our project back so we could do it in tandem, do it together. And so I'm looking for that to be pushed back for another year and a half easy. Anything else?
I need a new truck.
Hey, okay, moving on, information items, we don't have any. Action item, we didn't approve the secretary nomination, we didn't move through that because Jeff wasn't here. And we all wanted to settle him with it, but we wanted him to be present, so what say you, we table it again?
Let's table it again.
Yeah.
I move to table table item 7.
Second?
Oh, I second, yeah, I
Okay,
second.
all in favor to table it?
Aye.
Yeah.
Table, all right. Correspondence, I don't have any before me. Council comments and suggestions for future agendas. You guys got anything you want to put on for the next agenda?
No,
Okay, you remember, you gotta bug Jennifer now. That would make.
good, I think I'll get along with it great.
Okay, good. All right, then I'll entertain the motion for adjournment.
Yes,
You make a motion?
I make a motion that we end the.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We're done.
Yeah, we're done. Meeting adjourned. Thank you very much. Thank you all for.
Thanks, Ernie.
Yes.
And you did